welcome to episode 28, I think it is, of Confessions of a Yarn Addict podcast. My name is Anniken and I am in the southwest of England, and it's very, very cold here today. Wearing my hand warmers because it's so cold. I haven't recorded a proper podcast episode for a while. I've recorded a couple of yarn review episodes, but not a straightforward podcast episode. I had actually planned to release an episode before Christmas, but I just didn't get around to doing it. And some of the things that I'm sharing today, I actually recorded before Christmas, especially some of the outdoor stuff. I'm including a few video clips from some of the walks we did in December and over Christmas and New Year before we went into lockdown. So if you're not in the UK, we are back in lockdown in the UK. I can't remember when Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland went into lockdown, but in England we went into lockdown the first full week in January, the first Tuesday in January I think it was. We had a little bit of snow around New Year. It's very, very cold at the moment, but we haven't had any snow here. But we did have a bit of snow in the New Year. So there is a clip from Minions, which is the nearest mall-in village to where we live, taken around New Year. Got these two beautiful skeins from Spectrum Fibre. So this is Stella sock yarn. Stella, I think Stella is the colourway on Twisted Sock. And this is Love Struck on Mohair. So my plan was to combine these two into one shawl for possibly stripes or something like that. But then I also considered holding them double and making a cowl, but I'm not quite sure. But I have just ordered two more skeins of that colourway in that sock yarn, so maybe I'll change my mind once I get them. But I just love those two colours together. They're both absolutely beautiful, and it's Spectrum Fibre, and I'll put the link below. So I love this pink that I got from Spectrum Fibre in the mohair yarn. It's the Love Struck colourway. Love that pink so much. To me, that's just like the perfect pink. So I got the Twisted Sock. So it's 365 meters per 100 gram. I got 3 skeins of that. I've also got this one in the mohair. As you can see, the mohair is slightly lighter. That might just be the difference when you're hand dyeing yarn, because when you hand dye yarn, the colors are never going to be 100% identical. If you get the same colorway on different base yarns, you will see a difference in the color. So because this is on mohair and this is on superwash merino and nylon. It doesn't actually say superwash, but I'm assuming it's superwash merino and nylon. The colourway may come out slightly different. I've also got this colourway, which is the same base yarn as these 3 pink skeins. This is the Stella colourway. So I got these two together with the plan to do a shawl, probably mixing the two, maybe some kind of stripes or colour blocking. I hadn't quite decided. And then I got these 3 skeins, and now I don't know what to do. Do I mix these two in a shawl? Do I mix all of them into a garment? Or do I do 2 shawls? I could do these 3 into a shawl, I could do those 2 into a shawl, I could do those 2 into a shawl, these 3 into a shawl. There are so many options with these colorways. I could get some more of that mohair as well, which I'm thinking about. So I'm not quite sure what to do now. Luckily, I do actually have some deadline some yarn coming for a deadline project that I need to be getting on with over Christmas. So I may not be able to cast on for this straight away, but I'm really excited. Just love this colorway. If you're looking for the perfect, bright, happy, bright pink, then definitely check out Spectrum Fiber. They do lots of really, really lovely, bright neon, colourful yarns. Absolutely love it. So I finished my socks that I've been working on recently. The yarn is Mud Punch, and it's a self-striping yarn. I knitted them toe up with a swirly toe, and I also did a swirly heel. And I'm really happy with them. They're really comfortable, really nice yarn. I just did stocking stitch and then a rib at the top. But that's my Aventuras pattern with a swirly toe and a swirly heel. And I didn't bother about matching the stripes because I'm not that fussed about matching stripes. I'm really happy with them. They're really comfortable. I finished my mittens. They fit me perfectly. I tend to do an afterthought thumb because I prefer it. Doing stranded colour work on the thumb, which you would do if you did a thumb gusset, can be a little bit difficult. Thumb gusset is fine, but if you're doing the stranded colour work on the thumb, you have to be careful that the thumb doesn't end up too tight. So I prefer to do an afterthought thumb. I just find it a lot easier, and fits really nice, really happy with it. One thing I need to work out is how to change the pattern into smaller size, because this is larger size because I've got quite big hands, and I need to make this panel narrower in order to make it a smaller size. But I think that's going to be a struggle if I want to keep the stitch pattern looking the way it is, which I didn't think about when I designed this. So that's something I need to think about over Christmas, because I probably won't finish the pattern until first week in January. So as soon as I finished the mittens, I cast on for a pair of hand warmers. I was going to cast on for the smaller size, but because I can't work out how to change the stitch pattern, I decided to try a pair of hand warmers. So I just did a plain cuff with picot edging. So the cuff is like a double cuff, and same stitch pattern for the hand, and then a cuff at the top as well. And then I did an afterthought thumb with a picot edging as well. Really, really like it. I'm really happy with these. I think I'll wear these a lot. They fit me really, really well. And then I cast on for the second one as well. So I am nearly where I need to put the waist yarn in for the thumb. So now I just need to work out how I can change this stitch pattern to make it slightly narrower for a smaller size. And if I can work that out, then I will do the pattern with an option for the hand warmers and for the mittens. Finished the hand warmers, so I'm going to do a set with hand warmers and mittens. Thumb looks really stupid like that, but it actually looks really good on. I really like the pattern, really love the cuffs. At the top I actually did grey on the inside, light grey on the inside, and I would have done the same down here, but I didn't want to undo all that, so I left it. But the pattern will be with the alternative colour on the inside because I really like that. So I'm really enjoying knitting Selby inspired mittens at the moment. I actually nearly bought this colourway when I was in Norway, and then I didn't. So I had a look to see if anyone in the UK stocked it, and I got it from isolda.com. Isolda, I'm not sure how you should pronounce her name, but I'll put the link below. It's Rauma Finul, and that grey I bought in Norway. So I'm going to combine these together into another hand warmer or mitten set. I'm not quite sure, probably hand warmers. So I have finished these hand warmers and mittens now. I actually forgot to bring the final pair up to show you. I've also knitted the smaller size, so I decided to do the pattern in 2 sizes. And I just need to write up the pattern. So hopefully I will be able to get the pattern written up next week and get this released by the end of February. That's my goal anyway, but we'll see how that goes. So I ordered a little sock set from Amara Yarns. That's by the Knitting Corner, which is the last place I taught before lockdown in March. Sarah and Amy are making their own yarn. This is a sock set, so it's got 100 grams plus a mini skein. So I think I'll probably do socks with that, but I haven't decided yet. And then they very kindly popped in 2 stitch markers and a little owl. So thank you very much, Amy and Sarah. I really appreciate that. And I'll put the link to the Knitting Corner and Amara Yarns below if you want to check them out. I've also been doing quite a lot of sock knitting, so I got this new sock yarn before Christmas from the Knitting Corner in Sutton Coldfield. I have knitted the first sock. It's knitted toe up with an afterthought heel. I put the waist yarn in for the afterthought heel here, but I haven't knitted the afterthought heel yet, obviously, as you can see. So I need to do that. It does actually come with contrasting yarn for the afterthought heel, which is the same colour as the darker colour in this yarn. But I really like this yarn, love the colourway. I've decided just to go for plain socks, 2x2 rib on the top of the foot. So I'm nearly finished the foot on the second sock. Let me see how. Yeah, I'm about 2/3, bit more, 3/4, nearly finished. Only got a few rows to go till I get finished a foot on the second sock. I'm not kind of rushing to knit socks this year. I knitted 21 pairs of socks last year. My goal for 2020 was to knit 20 pairs of socks, and I managed to get to 21 pairs of socks. So I'm really pleased with that. And I did think about setting myself a goal this year, but I haven't. So I might try and knit something other than socks this year. I needed a lot of socks last year because the autumn before last, the autumn of 2019, I had a little accident with my washing machine and I ruined a whole bunch of my socks. So I had to throw a lot of them away. So I did need some more socks. So I have replenished my sock drawer. I've also knitted a few for my husband and a couple for my daughters. So yeah, I might try and do a few more for my husband and my daughters this year, but we'll see. This is a sweater that I currently have on the needles. It's got a wide lace pattern on it, and then it's got stocking stitch on the sides. And it's on 2 needles at the moment because I split it onto 2 needles because I wanted to check the measurements. And because it has lace, it will stretch a bit when I block it. So to simulate that when I'm measuring for progress, because it'll stretch widthwise and lengthwise, I put it onto 2 needles so I could stretch it out. I didn't soak it, and soaking it before you block it will affect how much it blocks out as well. But I wanted to just get a rough idea. So I just pinned it out dry. So I put the stitches onto 2 needles so that I could have enough long enough needle so I could stretch it out properly. I pinned it out and then I sprayed it with water, and then I left it to dry for a couple hours just to make it keep its block shape a little bit better. So I haven't slipped these stitches back to the original needle. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to knit them back. So quite often, instead of slipping stitches when I need to move them from one needle to another for measuring and stuff, I actually knit them instead. So I'm going to make sure that I knit with the needle at the end here, because that's the correct size. The other needle I use is actually a size bigger. So let me show you the main project I'm working on at the moment. So I finished the back of, I finished the back of the sweater. I actually stopped, I actually left the final row on the needles. So I knitted one half, then I left the stitches on hold for the back neck, and then I knitted the other half. So I finished the second half of the neck shaping in the middle of my needle, so I've still just left it like that. I need to double check that the neck shaping back neck shaping will be okay, that it's wide enough, so I may have to pick the last couple of rows I've done. So I've actually left the needles and yarn and everything attached in case I need to change it. And then I cast on for the front. So this sweater has dolman sleeves, so the front of the sleeves, the front and the back of the sleeves is knitted together with the front and the back of the body. So I've knitted the back and now I'm on the front. So I'm over halfway through, and I've made quite a lot of progress, but I'm getting a little bit bored with this at the moment. But I need to keep going because I need to finish it. I am really tempted to cast on something new, but I do have a couple of deadlines coming up. And talking about deadlines, one of my deadlines involves this yarn. So this yarn is from Orchidean Luxury Yarns, and it is their titanium sock, which is superwash merino and nylon, and the colorway is Let There Be More Light. So if you recognize this colorway, I did knit a pair of socks in this last year, and then because I really like the colorway so much, I bought a second skein as well, which I did actually cast on for a hat. I'm not 100% sure if I like how it's knitting up, so I may have to rip it out and do something else. I really like this colorway, it's beautiful, and I'm using it for a commission, for a design commission. I won't tell you what it is, but you will see it later in the year. And Abby, who runs Orchidean Luxury Yarns, also sent me this little tin with her logo on it, which is beautiful, and it has some stitch markers. I've actually taken 2 off to put on my current project, and they have little lava stones on them, and you can put essential oils on those lava stones. Let me just grab a bottle of essential oils. So all you do is you put 1 drop on the essential oil. You just got to make sure that it kind of, I tend to rub it in a little bit. You just want to make sure that it's absorbed, if you like, before you put on your knitting. And you then put that on your knitting, and then you can smell that essential oil. I think Abby is actually selling these with some samples of essential oils. She uses doTERRA essential oils like I do, so I will put the link to her website below, and I'm going to be putting this on my knitting when I come back downstairs. So I had 2 ready to go downstairs. Now I put essential oil on one of them. I will take that downstairs and put it on my knitting when I finish recording this. And as you can see, I'm filming in front of a different background today. I basically just turned my set up around. I'm still in my office. I did have my knitting machine here. So a year ago I redid my office, and which I did a video on at the time if you're interested in seeing that, but I redid my whole office with the plan of getting my knitting machine out. So my knitting machine was on this wall here, but I did tell myself that if I didn't use it I would have to pack it away again. Anyway, I gave myself a whole year, and I did use it a little bit at the start of last year, but I just didn't use it a lot. And bearing in mind that I wasn't teaching very much last year, obviously from March onwards because of the pandemic and the lockdowns and things, I really did have time to use it, and I wasn't using it. So I decided that I really needed that space to be used more productively. So what was happening was I had loads of stuff stacked up underneath my knitting machine. I was piling stuff on top of it. So I got rid of the knitting machine. Well, I'm got rid of it. It's in the corner over there. But I packed up the knitting machine, and then I got a new Calyx unit from IKEA. It's a 2x2 unit. I could have gone for a taller one, but I quite like to have a surface here that I can put stuff on and take photographs and things like that. At the moment I've got this dress form on here, which is a like this. It was a dress form I bought in a second-hand shop, in a charity shop in Bobby Tracy, across the road from Spinny Yarn, which is one of the shops where I teach regularly. I bought it there, I don't know, a couple of years ago, a few years ago. I happened to see it in the window while I was teaching, and I really liked it, so I bought it, but I wasn't really displaying it properly because I didn't really have anywhere to put it. So that lives in my room now, and my other dress form lives in here as well. I pushed it in front of the door just to move it out of the way while I'm filming, but normally it lives right next to this one, but it stuck up behind me and it looked a bit weird, so I just moved it out of the way. But I do like having this unit here so I can put stuff on it and take photos and things like that. And this is the yarn for my crochet blanket that I'm currently working on. I wanted to put that yarn somewhere that was away from my regular stash, so I just put it in this bowl here. I have been doing a little bit of work on the crochet blanket, but not a lot, not really enough to show any progress. So I will try and show you that next time. Thank you very much for watching. I will put all the links below, and I hope to see you next time. Do tell me what you've been knitting lately, and tell me what's on your needles at the moment. Tell me what the situation is where you live. Especially if you're not in the UK. Are you in lockdown? Are you not in lockdown? Tell me, it's interesting to know, and I will see you next time. Happy knitting.